So you have already booked your train in China, and then you see all these options. Second class, first class, business class, soft sleeper, hard sleeper, and now you are wondering, which one should I actually choose? Is second class good enough? Is first class worth paying more for? What even is business class on a train? And are sleeper trains still worth it in China? Because for a lot of first-time visitors, this is where the confusion starts. You are not just booking a train, you are trying to avoid booking the wrong train experience. So in this video, I'm going to break down the main train classes in China, what they are like, who they are best for, and which option makes the most sense depending on your trip. Alright explorers, time to projecting. For those who are new here, my name is Lee, and this channel is dedicated to help you travel to China with less friction. So consider subscribing if you would like to receive the latest information regarding China travel. In the previous episodes, we talked about how to book trains in China as a foreigner, and how to actually catch a train on the train day without panic. If you haven't watched those videos, I have linked them right here, make sure you check them out. But once you understand those two things, the next question becomes, what should you book? Because not every train ticket in China gives you the same experience. Some are perfectly fine for short trips, some are more comfortable for a longer journey. Some are worth the extra money, and some only make sense in specific situations. So let's make it simple. Before we even talk about classes, there is one thing you need to understand. When travelers say train class in China, they are usually mixing up two different things. The first one is the type of train. The second is the class of the seats or beds on a train. And those are not the same. For example, you might be looking at a high-speed train, but inside the train, you still have different classes options like first class or business class. Or you may be looking at an overnight train when the choice is between hard sleepers, soft sleeper, and sometimes other variations depending on the route. So do not overcomplicate it. First, identify, is this a high-speed daytime train or an overnight sleeper type of train? Then ask, which seat or bed class makes sense for me? This is the easiest way to think about it. Let's start with second class, because this is the option that most travelers will see first. And honestly, for many people, this is also the best option. Second class is the standard seats on most high-speed trains in China. If you are imagining it as some terrible budget experience, it is usually not like that. For many travelers, second class in China is still clean, efficient, comfortable enough, and very practical, especially on shorter routes. So who is second class best for? It is best for solo travelers, budget-cautious travelers, people doing shorter journeys, and anyone who simply wants an easy ride without paying extra for more space. If your train ride is only 1 to 3 hours, or even a bit longer, many people will find second class completely fine. That is why I would say for most first-time travelers, second class is always your default choice unless you already know you want more comfort. It is a safe option, not luxury, not bad, just practical. Now let's talk about first class. First class is usually where travelers start thinking, is this worth the extra money? And the answer is sometimes yes. First class is not just about looking fancy. Usually what you are paying for is more space, a quieter feel, and a more relaxed ride. So if you are someone who hates feeling cramped, has a lot of luggage, is traveling with family, or simply wants the journey to feel a bit smoother, first class can be a very good middle ground. This is especially true if your journey is longer, you are traveling during a busy period, you want a little bit more breathing room, or you just want to reduce stress. So who is first class best for? Travelers who want more comfort, but do not need to go all the way to business class. If second class is the practical default, I would say the first class is the comfort upgrade that still feels reasonable. Now we go to business class. This is a premium option on some high-speed trains. And yes, it is much more comfortable. You usually get significantly better seats, much more personal space, and a much calmer environment. And also a separate boarding journey compared to first and second class passengers. So if you really want a smooth and comfortable journey and you would like to board a train without queuing at the boarding gate, business class is clearly the top option. But here's the real question. Do most travelers need it? Probably not. For many travelers, business class is more like a luxury option than a necessary one. It makes sense if you are doing an important long-distance trip. You want maximum comfort and want the easiest experience possible. Or you simply do not mind paying more for convenience and space. But for average tourists, especially on shorter routes, business class is often more than you actually need. So yes, it is great, But it is not the default recommendation unless comfort is your top priority. So which seats class should you actually choose? Let's make this very practical. If you are doing a short or medium high-speed rail trip and you just want something simple and efficient, second class is usually enough. If you are doing a longer trip and want a little bit more personal space or dislike crowded seating, first class is probably the better choice. If you want maximum comfort, have that budget, or really care about having a premium experience, business class is a luxury option. So for most travelers, the decision is not complicated. It usually comes down to this. Do you want the cheapest practical option, the more comfortable middle option, or the premium splurge? This is really the choice. Now let's talk about sleeper trains, because this is where things get a little bit different. Sleeper trains are usually relevant for longer journeys, especially overnight routes. And for many travelers, they can still be a very interesting option because a sleeper train can save you a hotel night, turn a long journey into part of the experience, and sometimes makes more sense than flying once you factor in airport time and hotel cost. But sleeper trains are also not for everyone, because now you are no longer choosing between seat comfort, you are choosing between sleeping arrangements. And the two names that travelers hear most often are hard sleepers and soft sleepers. Now the names can already sound scary if you are new to China travel, especially hard sleeper. But the important thing is to understand what those words really mean in practice. Let's start with hard sleeper. Hard sleeper doesn't mean that you sleep on a wooden plank. It is more about a more basic, more open, and less private sleeper setup. Usually there are 6 beds in one compartment, and there is no door for it. So if you are budget conscious, okay with a more local and practical experience, and do not mind a less private environment, hard sleeper can still be a workable option. But if you are a light sleeper, value privacy, or traveling as a couple, or simply want a more comfortable overnight journey, then the soft sleeper is usually the better choice. Soft sleeper is generally more private, more comfortable, and easier for travelers who are not used to overnight trains. There are usually 4 beds in one compartment, and there is a door for the compartment. So the simplest way to think about it is this. Hard sleeper is the more budget, more functional, more local feel option. Soft sleeper is more comfortable, more private, more tourist-friendly option. Now the real question, are sleeper trains worth it in China? And I would say yes, but only in the right situation. A sleeper train makes sense if the route is long, you want to save daytime hours, you want to save one-night accommodation cost, or you would like to experience the train travel itself. But if the high-speed train can get you there in just a few hours, then for many travelers, the high-speed train option is simply easier. Less uncertainty, less fatigue, less complexity. So sleeper trains are not automatically better, they are just better for certain types of journeys. If your route is long enough, they can be smart. If your route is already well-deserved a fast daytime rail, then high-speed train is often the more convenient choice. The biggest mistake travelers make is assuming that the cheapest option is always the smartest one. Sometimes it is, but not always. Because if you book the cheapest class for a long journey, hate the experience, feel cramped, and arrive exhausted, then you do not really save that much. And the opposite is also true. Sometimes people overpay for a class they do not really need. So the right question is not, what is the best class overall? The right question is, what is the best class for this particular journey? How long is the ride? Who are you traveling with? How much comfort do you need? And is this just transport or part of the travel experience? This is how you should decide. If this video has helped you, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to check out my free pre-trip guide link in the description box down below. Project out for today. I will see you in the next one.